We're live. Hey guys, welcome
Hello.
to another episode of Aussie Thrifters. Today, Game On Couple have come to enlighten us on all things gaming and all things awesome. Really, I mean,
all things
what
awesome.
are you going to say about that? It's like gaming, reselling. Like, what else? What else is there? Really, I mean, you can't get any better, right?
That's it. That's the best thing.
No, and the two work very well together.
It's insane, like, to see like you guys come in, and my sort of first question sort of revolves around that as well. But before we get into that, we will say g'day to everyone in the chat that's popped in. Looks like we've got a couple in already, which is nice. Looks like back from burnout, Mel is on the way home from the Gold Coast, up near your area. I think they were raiding your stores, I believe.
Hangovers ensue.
We've got Sarah in. Thanks for coming, Sarah. Cameron Swanson.
Hi, I don't think I've seen that name before. Welcome.
Look, Mom, hustling.
I think he's at work.
There we go. Drew, I think Drew's unwell today, so I think he's actually at home.
Oh no.
Ali's dropped in. Shree Dawn, thanks for coming. Tracy.
Uniquely.
Nana Treasures, thanks for popping by. Shirley Boland. Thank you very much. Mary Benton, thanks for popping in. A couple of pickers, Lisa and Rob, good to see you guys. Thanks everyone for popping in. Dwayne has popped in all the way from USA. Scooby Shaggy, that's a sick name.
Scooby Shaggy.
I like that.
Nice.
And Mum is always showing the support in the chat.
Brad's mum is always there. Hey, Brad's mum.
You know you made it when Mum's watching you. So, so I guess for everyone that isn't aware of you guys, do you want to quickly introduce yourselves and I guess where you've come from and what you're doing now?
So we're obviously, you can read the name that way. Game On Couple. Craig, this.
I'm back.
And this is back. Together, we've been long-time gamers and collectors, and from that, and obviously been doing it for so long, we've kind of got into the reselling side of things more as a business, whereas before we would sell and then put back into the collection, but our collection just got so big where that was like not manageable anymore. So instead, we started doing it as a business.
Yeah. My first question sort of revolved around that, actually, because I know as a collector of N64 and NES and SNES that reselling games is a very, very touchy subject.
Yes.
So how have you guys found that bit of a transition? Because I'm presuming you have a pretty decent community in the gaming community that you sort of get in and around and support you and stuff like that. So how have you found that transition from being like a collector to now sort of reselling? Because I imagine that was some muddy waters at some stage.
Yeah, and like the way that we treated it is like, okay, so we are going to do this. We need to do this, and we want to do this for ourselves. There's that know us as people and care enough about us. It won't affect what they think about us. Those that are like, oh, you guys are scumbags now, want nothing to do with you. Because obviously within the collecting community, if you're a reseller, you're taking something directly out of their hands and they want nothing to do with you. So those that had that kind of attitude towards us don't need you in our lives anyway.
That's okay. We used to be like that too, though.
Yeah. Like when I started collecting, we met like quite a few resellers in the video games. And a lot of them that we met would tell grandma that their $500 game is worth $1. So even for us, when we were collectors, our interaction with resellers weren't the best. And I thought as well, even as a collector, like that's what a lot of it was about. But over time, meeting more resellers and meeting more like a wider community, and especially as well, like jumping on, seeing Rally Roots, seeing Two Aussie Thrifters, seeing Look Mum, I'm Hustling, seeing Tommy, seeing all you guys let us know that, okay, you can still do this and be honorable and stay true to who you are without, being that guy or that girl,
Yeah. I think it happens. You sort of get that bad name when you show up to like garage sales like 4 hours early and are like knocking their door down and like telling them their stuff's worth nothing. Like,
Don't be a vulture.
yeah, I think that's where it comes from. Is like, there's a fair price that you can pay to somebody and still make money on top. Like, you don't have to be like, oh, your $50 game, oh, that's worth $3. Like, you know what you can pay for it, you know what you can sell it for. So, try and be, I guess, kind. You want to make money, and sometimes you'll come across things in op shops and stuff that are really great, and you don't feel as bad getting that price from an op shop because it's not that person's stuff. It's in the op shop for you to buy. So yeah, it's a really interesting community, that game to reseller, because I've seen both sides of it, like really great people like yourselves that are sort of finding those gems and passing it on to the collectors at a decent margin. But then you've got the other side of it where the community's like, no, you're a reseller, you can't do that. Like, and like, well, someone's got to find the gear, someone's got to sell the gear, someone's got to buy the gear.
Yeah,
so
how many people are going to find that one item in that one op shop?
Yeah,
got to bring it to the people.
Exactly. And like collectors and resellers as well, like collectors have this mentality, you've taken that one game out of our hands. But what like a lot of collectors do is they're not willing to drop this $1,000 or $2,000 on a bulk lot. They just want that one game from the lot. And a lot of people selling can't be bothered with that. So when you're competing to buy this stuff, you're not competing with collectors. You're actually competing with other resellers in your area who potentially don't have the same mentality or the same morality as you. So we have like rules of engagement. Our thing is like, I will honestly tell somebody, look, this is probably worth more, but this is what I'm willing to pay.
Yeah,
that's my line. I don't care. Like if you want more, that's fine. You go ahead. But what I'm willing to pay, and if it's higher than that, good luck with your sale. I wish you all the best of luck. And I want like to get on par with the seller and the buyer, like that happy level. What are you willing to part with this, where you feel it's going to a good home or it will be distributed to good homes?
Yeah. You get yours.
Yeah,
we get ours.
Exactly. And you can't, like I said, you know the margin, so you know what you can pay, and anything above that, like you can't afford it. But that person has to put that work in to get that better dollar value. So that's where your margin is the work that you're putting in to sell that item. So I think it's a great, like, gaming is such a big market. Like it's incredible how much collectors will pay for stuff, and you guys have helped us out with stuff that we weren't aware on. So thanks so much for your support as well along the way. It's been awesome. We will say a couple more hellos. So Brad Dyer of Flippers dropped in.
Good morning,
Tony. Good to see you.
Tony.
Flipping Sydney. Thanks for popping by. Rob's in the
he's dead to me.
Mario would kick Sonic's ass. Well, that would be like, they should do like a WCW Sonic vs Mario special. That would
Mario would get decimated.
Thanks to kick ass.
Is there anything gaming related that you buy purely as a long-term investment, knowing the value will increase?
100%. There are, what you're looking for is games that are produced in a low print run. They are very sparse in Australia to find those particular ones, but you can find them. So essentially what you're looking for is games that were not published or distributed in Australia, but are on sale here. A good way to spot those is they've actually got the Australian rating system as a sticker just sticked on top of the case. Normally that means that there was no distribution rights to that game in Australia, which means within this region, that is an extremely low print. That is not like the rule for all, but it's a good way to spot those ones that can potentially be a low print run. An example of that, there's a game called Oni Nakai on the Nintendo Switch, which is an RPG. Switch is a current platform, but that game, there was only a couple thousand in Australia. So there's quite a few like that you can find. So you're mainly looking for low print runs, or particular collector's editions can be worth. Like if you've got the Last of Us collector's edition, you've got $1,000 right there.
Wow, that's crazy.
especially if you have the Ellie edition.
Yes, yeah. No, we picked that up for $30, and that was Bev's holy grail item. Was that? And I found it. The guide actually put it in the bin.
Yeah, he was going to throw it out.
And he had to take it out of the bin. And I drove like half an hour to another house to get this from a bin.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's crazy. So some people don't value those things, but they have value. Like,
yeah, definitely. Yvonne's dropped in. Thanks, Yvonne. Grimes Fine. Good to see you. Chris is in as well. Good to see you, Chris. Kursko. That's a new name, I think. Nice to see you guys. It's crazy what people throw out. Like I picked up a Nintendo 64 in box a few weeks ago, the action set, and it was the
NES action set. You mean?
Yeah, the grey shooter instead of the orange shooter, instead of the rarer one.
Yeah.
And I got that for a decent price, but I was like, "Oh, do you have any games or anything?" She's like, "Oh, yeah, I think I got a few." So we made a deal on the games as well. But then I was like, "Oh, do you have the case or anything?" And she pulled them literally out of the bin and was like, "Oh yeah, there's these cases here." And I was like, "You just threw out like money, like literally money you just thrown out." So it's crazy because people just don't understand. Like they just have it and they don't understand that there's value in it now. So they're just like, "Oh, I'll just throw it out. I don't need it." Like,
yeah. Oh my gosh,
insane.
And you're Sega or Sega?
It's actually pronounced Sega. But in Australia, everyone always says Sega. So, yeah, it's either one, whatever floats your boat. I said Sega as a kid. I only started saying Sega when I started talking to people in the company, and they started correcting me.
Wow.
It's going to be a difficult transition. Where did your love come from?
Your love of gaming was from your brother?
Yeah. So I guess my dad bought my brother a PlayStation 1, and that's where I came in.
Yeah, so she's been PlayStation through and through. For me, my first system was the Master System, and I was not a sociable kid. I struggled to make friends and everything like that. So video games and being able to escape into that world played a big part in my childhood. I didn't like reading. I liked reading Sega magazines. It was all about Sega, everything, and Sonic the Hedgehog. So it's been ingrown in me since a very young age. I think I started playing, first game I ever played was Alex the Kid in Miracle World. And I would have been probably 6 or 7 years old. And a couple of months later, my mum just saw like, wow, he's smiling for the first time that I've seen him smile like this. And I got one and it just snowballed from there. Like I used to go into the stores. I used to get all the standees, like a little 12-year-old kid going up to store owners and saying, "Can I please have this giant cardboard cutout?" Like I've been doing that since I was a kid.
Wow. I mean, that's one of the reasons we have Spidey back here.
Yeah. Exactly.
So cool.
And and now you have like insane collection. So how many Sega games individually do you have, or Sega?
Last time I cataloged, I think I was on about 600.
Wow.
That's across all the Sega.
Yeah, that's across all the Sega platforms. But since then, I haven't done a catalog in about 6 months.
Probably.
So, and I've got like multi-region games as well. I've got North American sets, PAL sets, Japanese sets. So I think I'm probably sitting at close to 1,000 now.
I'm definitely gonna have to, if I'm ever over that way, come and have a look, because it's
100%. Always welcome.
I'm a big fan of gaming. Obviously, Sega isn't what I love, but I just love seeing other people's collections. Like just seeing the effort that someone has gone into to compile all that sort of stuff is just insane. The hours driving to get a deal, or the hustle to make that game that you're looking for yours. Like, I know it well.
I've drone great distances. I've drone like multiple hours just because I wanted this one game. But yeah, we
even had something shipped from central Queensland.
Yeah, like a big
bulk
that I'm going to put on YouTube eventually when I get around to it. Like I will go to very far means to get things that we want. And we also got like a lot of Nintendo too. Nintendo were probably sitting at about 800.
Most of it's still in the in the cupboard.
Yeah, in cupboards like Nintendo 64, NES, Super Nintendo, rare games like Turtles in Time, Castlevania 4, like So we've got quite a diverse collection as well.
That's my jam right there.
Yeah.
Nest.
I knew that would tickle your fancy.
Get a bit of heart palpitation there. What game releases are you looking forward to the most this year?
So there's 3 that I am looking forward to. That would be Resident Evil 3, the remake. It's going to be so much fun. Comes out in 3rd of April, I think.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And then in May, I have Last of Us 2.
That's her all-time favorite.
But also later in the year, because it's been pushed, we have Cyberpunk 2077. So that's probably something I'm going to spend multiple hours on.
Yeah. For me, it's just one. I think most of all is Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
That's gonna be awesome too.
Yeah.
How do you guys find like the balance between like now that you're reselling? How do you find the balance between like gaming and reselling? Like, have you sort of started eating into your game time to do the reselling, or have you just sort of separated it completely and you know when your reselling time is and when your gaming time is?
It's like it's the Jedi versus like the dark side. Like you set yourself, I'm gonna keep this just for me, and then this voice on this said, no, you don't actually have this one. You should sell it, but don't. So I in the last like couple of weeks ago, I think I bought about 200 Sega games, and of those. Yeah, you've seen most of them. And I was planning on only keeping 10 of them. That turned into about 60. So it is a constant battle.
That's 140 you can sell, so that's good numbers to me, I reckon.
Yeah, it's still pretty good, but like I set myself that requirement to start with, that you're only keeping this, and the collector always wins. It's really hard to make that distinction in your mind, like objectively, because you've got an emotional attachment to something. But we still make quite a bit from the things we sell, where our collection has cost us $0. So we can't complain about that.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
That's what you want, and that's how I got into reselling. Was I was buying bulk lots of N64 NES and just getting rid of the doubles so I could keep building my collection. And now it's snowballed into we buy and sell whatever we can find. So that's how we got in, and it's crazy how you can fund a collection by doing that sort of stuff, and you don't have to be hugely out of pocket. It's insane.
It's the only sustainable way to do it.
And gaming especially, like there are some games that are just exponentially expensive. So Diary of a Flipper, what is both of your favorite modern day game, and what console?
PlayStation, he's Xbox.
Yeah.
Modern day game.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Horizon Zero Dawn is essentially like a post-apocalyptic world where there's robot dinosaurs everywhere, and humans have resorted back to like bows and arrows, and it's essentially it's an open world game. It's really fun and really immersive, and the visuals are stunning.
Yeah.
Wow.
Favorite modern game for me? Oh God, which child do I choose?
You can give 5.
I'll probably just say of last year, my favorite game was Control, which is like I really like psychological games where like it's a mix of sci-fi and realism. Like, so Control is like supernatural. So anything that has those two components, and of course, but my favorite game on all modern consoles, Breath of the Wild.
Oh yeah.
Yes. 100%.
That's an awesome game.
Yep.
I have to be very careful. Like, I used to play quite a lot of gaming, and I've had to be very like diligent in cutting that out of my life, because otherwise I just spend too much time playing it. And then because of what we want to do for our future, like I've had to just like not do it. And I picked up the new the new Call of Duty yesterday at a garage sale, and I was like, oh, I could play this, and I was like, no, I'm just going to put it up, sell it, get rid of it, because if I get into it, it's just going to eat up my time like
That's
no
a
tomorrow.
lot of discipline. Jeez.
Yeah, that's too much for me.
Yeah, too much for me.
Rob saying Alex Kidd paper scissors rock always got me.
That
every
was the
time.
stupidest boss battles ever. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think I ever got that far. I very rarely played Sega because I didn't have one and my friend had one, and I played like a little bit of Alex the Kid, obviously Sonic, and a few of the sort of standard games, but never got real deep into any of them because it was like we'd go there for like half an hour and play a game and go have dinner. So
I've never played any of them.
For those that are interested, I just do recommend there is a Sega collection on all modern consoles. PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC that has a snapshot of all the best games that were released as a total, or the mini console. You got 50 games on there. If you are interested, but you don't want to purchase the old hardware, pick up one of those, and then you'll get an insight into the 16-bit generations.
yeah.
That's really good advice. How many hours a day do you spend gaming?
Bex probably plays way more than I do.
Probably plays way more than I should.
Yeah, I can literally, because I work Saturdays, I can leave work in the morning, she can be sitting on the couch, and then I'll come home, and I swear she's just molded further into the couch, so she can play for like 12 hours straight.
Wow.
Whereas me, I do most of the eBay stuff, I do most of the social stuff, so I probably only get to play 4 hours a week now, which is not much for me.
But he's gotten into Call of Duty.
I have gotten into Call of Duty, and that's a good call selling it. It's taken up a lot of my time in multiplayer. Shooting people in the head is fun.
I was, when I picked it up, I was like itching. I was like, because we used to play Call of Duty together, just like a bit of fun, like obviously Nuketown and all that sort of stuff.
Pretty bad at it.
And then that came up yesterday. We haven't touched it for I don't know, a good year and a half now. And yesterday I picked it up. I was like, I could play that. And I was like, no, put it aside, because if I get into it,
not sleep.
Yeah, if we didn't sleep, we'd be fine. But that's not going to happen.
If you do decide to put it on a console, let me know and we can shoot at each other.
Oh my god, yes, I'd love to shoot.
I don't even know. Whoa! I don't even know if I could. I don't even know if I know the buttons anymore because like I've lost all that muscle
I think
memory.
it'll come back. I think one round
Muscle
and you'll be like,
memory,
oh yeah, right.
Looks like we've got a few more people dropping in, so thanks everyone for coming along. Kara's slept in today. That's Kara. That's strike one right there. Rob will be sending you a eviction notice sometime shortly.
Oh my goodness.
No, thank you for coming. It looks like Look Bum's asked for everyone's gaming tags so that they can go around and play some Xbox with them. Scrap needs.
Yeah, we've got him on our Xbox. Yeah, I see he's been playing Jedi.
Fallen Order.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Nice.
Yes,
Darren's dropped in as well.
Hey,
thanks for coming. We're being like distracted with our questions because it's just been flowing so well. So I'll try and go back to some of them. So you guys have been reselling a little while now, and I guess over a reselling career, you sort of learn things and you sort of get to know things. But what has been the biggest or the most important thing that you've learned or discovered in the reselling game?
Learn self-control. It's so easy to get carried away thinking, oh, this item is worth this and I can flip it without
actually looking at the item to see what the condition is.
Yeah, that as well. And considering what you still have to list, because you can buy items and say like, this is worth this, I can make this. But if it's not listed, it ain't worth jack. So it's very important to have that balance between sourcing and listing and getting that happy medium, because you're burning into your liquid assets, your money on stock that is not making you any money. So it's very important to have that balance and to rein the, what do you call it? Bring the reins in when you feel it's getting out. And that's exactly the situation we're in now. I have about probably 400 or 500 items to list. So I'm on a sourcing ban. So I have I think I have 80 consoles to list. So Yeah.
Dang.
That's some serious money there too with consoles. Like
Oh,
you,
yeah.
Yeah.
you know that there's some cash sitting in that pile. I think that's great advice. Like we got into that position probably what
6
7
months.
months ago, and then we dropped Jazzy back to 4 days a week, and now we have like
Yeah.
literally nothing to list. Like what we're getting on the weekend is just holding us through to the next weekend. So we almost need to get like another big bulk deal so we have some stock to like get us through. Otherwise, we're going to run out of stuff to list. So it's definitely great advice. So you don't want to get in that position where you've got like, well, you could potentially have multi-thousands of dollars sitting in
We
a
had
debt
this
pile.
entire room.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you want to have the money for when those bulk lots do become available. It's all well and good like spending money on these $3 items, but there's multiple facets to consider. Time is worth as much as that dollar value you're putting on it, and you've got to consider that as well. We pay more we get less margins when we buy large bulk lots on video games, but the time of sourcing that and just going and picking it up is less than if I'm going op shop, you know. So
and you'd never get that amount of stock in like even like a couple months worth of op shopping. You'd never get that exact amount or that amount of quantity to list. So
and you get more gaming time.
Yeah, you get more gaming time. There you go.
Yeah. So we proportionate. I have this money is for bulk lots, this money is for op shops, and this money is for equipment. And so that way I know whatever situation we're in, we have liquid assets ready for that, and I don't dip in between. So
perfect.
That's that in itself is takes a lot of control as well. Like that's impressive. I did see a comment. Oh, Las Vegas Thrifters has dropped in. Thanks for popping by. Pittsburgh, good to see you, Anthony. Catch up with the chat a little bit.
Jumping around.
It's like StreamYard's really bad for like you're on a comment and then all of a sudden it'd be like all the way down the bottom and you're like, I just missed the whole chat. But we're at the bottom now, guys. So if anyone has any questions for Game On as we go, definitely drop them in the chat. We do have a sort of set that we want to get through, but we're already almost half an hour in, so we'll try and get some more through. No, I love it. I love this sort of chat where it's like, you know, we almost disregard the questions because it's like you're more interested in what you're saying to each other, and then you're like, I got to keep on top of the chat as well. So
what's your ultimate goal, guys, with your reselling? Because it seems like it kind of started to fund the collection and then it's morphing. So where do you think it's going?
Well, I actually before collecting I resold and it put me through university where I didn't have to work. That was like years ago. I sold on eBay like 10 years ago things. I kind of want to, like, for us, Beck's got a great job that she loves. Previously she was in a job where she would come home crying. It was just like a toxic environment. So we wanted to get her out of that.
We did.
Yeah, I'm in a situation where my current job, sometimes my safety is put into jeopardy, where I've had a knife held at me. I'm dealing with people who I'm not trained to deal with, and I want to step out of that. Reselling is allowing that to happen. So ideally, I would like to be able to do reselling 70% of the time, but doing something else that is a job that allows you to interact with other people that I enjoy. And Beck has obviously always been support with sourcing. Without her, I would know nothing about clothes. So for us to have Saturdays off so we can source women's clothes so I don't get looked at weird. And for me to leave this job and to find another part-time job that is only 30%. So the main income source is from reselling. And that is a very achievable goal. And we're already there. I could do that, but we're applying for a home loan. And apparently if I quit my job and get a new one, I won't get approved.
Just hang in there.
It's definitely the struggle of like, you know,
that little cat.
Yeah, she's running amok before. She was actually attacking my leg while like 2 minutes ago. And now she's all cuddly on Jasmin, so we all know who her favorite is, but that's okay. I swear that Drew like is actually in my head most of the time, because I was actually going to ask you this question next. What have you guys got planned for YouTube in the future?
Yeah, and this is something Drew and I have actually been like talking about through Instagram, like DM. I hate that word DM. It just makes me think like it's sexual. But
it definitely is.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, obviously, we've got a wealth of knowledge, and I think going forward, a direction of art. This is the second YouTube channel I had. The first one I had was full of collecting resources, how to fix things, how to clean cartridges, how to fix game cubes when the tray won't open, and things like that. I think like that information is pretty invaluable. So I think I'll be doing like a little bit of a thrifter's guide too. So like a thrifter guide to completeness, because a lot of people like want to sell to collectors, but if you don't know what collectors look for, then you're kind of selling yourself short before you start. If you've got a Nintendo 64 game, you've got two games that are the exact same as each other. One is mint in box, meaning that there's no damage, and one is trashed. Somebody with no knowledge will not know how to price their item based off those metrics. So talking about completeness, which is, does it come with everything that it originally came with? Condition. I also want like to do like journey ones as well that involve back, where I'd be like, we're going to start with $20 and we're going to build a collection from this $20.
Yeah.
So we don't want to like just be reselling. It's more like, and that's why we love your guys' channel and Drew's and everyone's, because it's all about your lifestyle. And we want to like build ours based off our lifestyle. We're not just pure resellers. We're gamers, we're collectors, and we're resellers. But we want a resource that is everyone can use and also shows who we are as well. Like, it's very important. Like personality sells. And I'm still very robotic on YouTube when I'm presenting, and it's just getting there. And I think like for us, talking more about those things where it's here, it's already here. I know like everything, it'll just be like flawless and engaging and that. So more like doing Thrift Quest, doing Thrifter's Guide 2, and then doing lifestyle things. So separating into those three categories.
Your passion will just show through. That's going to be a really great resource.
It'll be like so valuable for so many resellers to know that stuff. Like,
I'll watch that.
Even I have stuff that I've like parked aside because I'm like, I could deal with that, but I don't really want to, and I don't really know how. So like having someone provide that information in a video format that's like, oh, I can follow these steps on how to fix a faulty PS1 like button or something. Like having that like relevant information can change the value of your item from almost nothing to like a very high-end item. Like that knowledge is valuable.
That's a lot of my items are broken and I fix and I sell for ridiculous money.
Yeah.
So good.
Which is why you have how many master systems?
I have 43 master systems.
That's insane. Damo dropped in. Good to see you, Damo. Glad you're back on the YouTube train and looking forward to your new adventures.
Man, he's looking sharp in that photo.
Yeah.
I want his jawline.
Me too.
Yeah.
Here's a good question from Rob. Would you ever want to own a game shop, create your own game shop franchise?
Probably not. When I was in uni, I almost did. So because I was sourcing a lot of new games, I think the way that the world is going, having the brick and mortar stores is not a safe bet anymore. It's good for when like people, and the ultimate goal is like, we all as resellers, we have to do the groundwork. We have to go to these places. We have to communicate with them because they have a resource that we want. When you have a shop, and especially if it's a second hand, the relationship kind of reverses and you've got the power in that relationship because somebody's coming to you, but there's not enough of that within the niche of like retro toys or video games to be able to do that. There are a few places in Brisbane that do, and I have a friend who owns a store and he's struggling. I think online is a better way, and you can choose your own hours. That's why a lot of us resell is we don't want to do the 9 to 5. So I would rather be able to do an online store, do YouTube and do all that, and then have the freedom, because freedom is, you can't put a value on it. So answer that, no. That was very long-winded, but sorry.
It's true though. You see all these brick and mortars that are struggling at the moment or closing down, and it's a hard business to be in, brick and mortar.
If you're gonna have brick and mortar, you need to be like a destination that people are so excited about to go and take a selfie and be like, oh my god, I went to Beck and Greg's Emporium.
Yeah, exactly.
100%. Yeah.
A few more questions in the chat. So that's great. All the questions are popping through. Have you thought about scaling or buying bulk lots from interstate and having others buy and post to you? Almost like a people going out sourcing for you.
I already have that. I have people that are based out in Warwick, people that are based out in Toowoomba. I have people in North Queensland who look for me. I have people in Victoria who look for me. Every now and again, it'll come good, but it's just they're very sparse.
Yeah.
So, because a lot of them is like, well, I don't want this, and a lot of the times the people who are asking me are also collectors. So, yes, but you're creating your competition as well if you do that by giving away your tricks. If I say to somebody who's a collector, this is the value of these games, or this is what you should pay for these games, what is stopping them from utilizing that resource themselves and then cutting into our margins? And we've created our own monster. So yeah, I think like we get people contacting us from interstate. I think like social media is the most powerful platform for getting your word out there for what you're looking for and who you are as people, so people want to deal with you. So I think more than so than getting people to source for you is getting your voice out there and getting yourself heard. So those people who are in a state, who are around, they can reach out to you. And that's Instagram is such a great resource for that. It's probably currently the best resource for networking with people within similar niches.
Yeah, definitely. I absolutely agree.
Ooh, Cara, when you are not gaming, reselling, or thrifting, what would you be doing?
That's a life in a nutshell.
That is everything.
I know you guys did a video recently where you were doing some like snowboarding and stuff. Do you guys want to talk a little bit about your passion for that as well?
Yeah.
So me being from Sweden, I come from the cold country.
Yeah.
I probably started skiing when I was about 4 or so. Didn't start snowboarding until I was 16 or something, and I taught myself how to snowboard with friends. Lots of stacking, lots and lots of snow down my. Yep. But yeah, that's something I really enjoy. We haven't been in a while.
Yeah, we've done seasons internationally. Like we
did a season in Canada.
Yeah, Beck got me into snowboarding when I was doing my honors degree. We went to New Zealand, and
he broke his hand.
I broke my hand, and I had to like work on a boat with a broken hand, lifting heavy equipment out of the water. But
sorry about that.
Then we went to Canada, and Canada, I think, is where collectively together as a unit, we found our love together doing backcountry and that. I've worked in Canada now. I've worked in Australian ski fields.
He also went to Japan.
Yeah, Japan.
That was a very short trip.
Yeah, I tore my ACL and shattered my the top of my what do you call this? My calf bone. Like it was all splintered. Ooh. So yeah, I was over there to work and source. I was actually buying lots of games from Japan then, and then I had to leave behind to sell in Australia when I was going to be done there. So we love snowboarding. We love winter sports. I grew up surfing, and we're very outgoing. We've got no problem rock climbing or doing anything adventurous.
Skydiving.
Beck's the first.
Bungee jumping.
Yeah, Beck's the first to jump out of a plane or jump off the bungee thing. She'll hang over cliff faces, like literally face over.
I did that when we first met.
Yeah, she almost killed herself the first time on one of our first dates. Like she's more crazy than I am. She's definitely more gung ho. But like, adrenaline is a great drug. So just doing those things, like getting those endorphins, and like it's the same with reselling. That hype you get, like we live off that stuff. So part of that is our journey is if there's something adventurous and we're physically capable,
you're there.
Hands up, we'll do it.
That's awesome.
We were just meeting you today. Do you want to let people know where you met, how you became Beck and Kain?
Okay, so we met through a common friend. He threw a party and we were both drunk.
That's good. The best way to start it, I'd say.
Yeah, the first time we met, we actually got in an argument about the name of an island in West Australia. Beck wasn't even in this argument, but she came along. I was arguing with another person from Perth about the name of this island. After that person left, we continued to argue, and I was losing the argument. So to shut her up, I kissed her.
Yep.
That's a pro move right there.
I'm
so frustrated that I'll just kiss him, and then we'll be engaged in the future. So.
Yeah. Who would have thought?
Congratulations on your engagement, by the way.
Thank you.
Privately, but not face to face. So, it's one question we get a lot because we're engaged as well, and it bugs me. So I'm gonna flip it.
Now you're gonna do it to us.
No, I'm going to flip it. So we always get asked, do you have a date? But I actually wrote a very clever way of asking this because I don't like when I get asked, do you guys have a date? So are you planning a wedding, or are you just enjoying the engagement at this point in time?
We have goals that we want to reach before we have that. Like we want to be... When I proposed to Rebecca, I wanted us to be in a point in our relationship, our lives, where we were happy. I've been wanting to do it for a while, but like when she hated her job and we were like struggling for money and that, I didn't feel like that was the time. We're getting into a really good point, but we want to buy our own home. Yep. So once we've bought our own home, and we've got a little doggy, a little Staffy, and that then we'll start thinking about the wedding and that. And it's especially because Rebecca's family is in Sweden. Yeah. Mine's in Australia, and my parents can't really travel. Yeah. So, we're kind of stuck waiting because we haven't worked out the logistics of it yet. So we're leaving it open-ended. And we would... She waited 10 years for me to propose. What's another couple of years before that?
It's like a mirror of our story. So we got engaged on our 10th anniversary. We got engaged.
Oh wow!
So
we were 2 days off.
Yeah, we were 2 days off actually. Yeah, our anniversary.
And we were much in the same position in that we wanted to get a house before we got married and set ourselves up for the future. So I completely understand where you guys are coming from, but I just wanted to know where you guys are at, because I think some people get engaged and get married really quickly, and then others draw it out and just enjoy the engagement and have other goals. So I don't think there's a right or wrong. It's just
no, 100%. It's situational based. Like what works for you is never going to work. It might not work for somebody else. And everybody looking out, trying to look in on your relationship, they've got no idea. I just tell people we're both very blunt people, and I have no problem telling people that's none of your business, or I don't care enough about you to consider it. So you'd be surprised who asks you and who are you?
Every person at work's so you guys have been engaged a while, you got a date? I'm like, the date is when we set it in the future.
That's a good answer.
I like that.
That's a good answer.
We've got a few more people drop in, so I just want to make sure we cover off the chat as well. So thanks, Von Picker, Jennifer Hayes is in, Callie Picker. I'm going to try and catch up the chat a little bit because we are a little bit behind. Flipping Sydney asks if you guys do bouldering, or do you do rock climbing, or both?
Both. We haven't done it in a while, but for a long time, I used to go on. If anyone has me on Facebook, we used to do canyoning. So we'd drive into the mountains, drive one car up the top of the mountain, leave another at the bottom, and we would just take guide ropes and we would just abseil climb all the way down.
Actually, he ditched me to do this with his friends.
Yeah, well, boys' time. You need boys' time. Going rock climbing, and there's a permanent rock climbing outdoor wall cliff face in Brisbane that's free to use, so doing that. But yeah, we don't really. I don't like indoor. I prefer outdoor. So we do less bouldering because there's not really safe places to boulder in our area.
Yeah. I used to do a little bit myself actually back in the day, but then I got heavy and couldn't hold myself up properly anymore. So
I think I tried.
I saw that photo of you guys that you posted like 10 years ago. I'm like, damn, Brad, you had like a jaw that could slice cheese. It was like that, like.
Yeah, I used to be a lot into sport, but I got some pretty serious injuries along the way.
Yeah.
So when I was like 15, 16, I was playing field hockey like flat out at reasonably high levels.
I've watched a lot of hockey games.
And yeah, I was a very different person back then than I am now.
It's the same with me with surfing and stuff. After my knee, I'm not the same. And if I can't do aerials, if I can't do floaters, I don't. Yeah, so I've got moves now.
You and me both. But knees and ankles are shocking. Like that's what went for me, is my knees and ankles. And yeah, once you do those, it's hard to come back. Here we go. Okay, then can we ask if the baby's coming? That is a firm no on us. I don't know what you guys have got planned in the future, but
you want to get blocked.
Yeah, fur baby coming 2020. Fur baby coming 2020.
And you know what? You can. Fur babies are a lot more manageable than real ones. Then you can still thrift and do what you need to do. Apparently, if you leave your baby home on the phone, that's kind of frowned upon, I hear. But if it's a cat, game on, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. And we have a niece, so we can do like the loving part, and then be like, she's shit herself. Take her back. I don't want her anymore. You got the best of both worlds.
We have two nieces, so yeah, we have the very same issue. Firm on the not changing the bappy.
Yeah.
Don't change the bappy or the baby's nappy. That's Brad with the jawline and the old tan. Yeah, I'm very white these days because I work indoors all the time. But we'll let that one slide.
Beck, tell us about the differences living in Australia versus back home.
Oh, geez,
no.
Okay.
You weren't expecting that, were we?
Nope, did not. So, jeez, help me out.
Okay. The climate?
Well, yeah. So the climate. So we have definitely 4 seasons back home, and
summer's like our winter.
Kinda, almost. Queensland winter, mind you.
Yeah.
So we get in summer. We had about. You could have some really good days of 30 plus, but you could also have some really bad days of 10 to 15.
Yeah.
And rain.
And what's the size of the place where you lived most of your life?
Okay, so I'm from a very small town of 4,000 or 5,000 people.
They're like everywhere in Sweden. It's
there's so many small towns all over, but at least they're close by. So there was another like 20-minute car drive to the next town, or 10 minutes car drive to the next town.
What's that cool thing with where you can go anywhere in the wild, and like even if it's somebody's property?
So there's this thing called allemansrätten. It basically means that anyone you are allowed to walk anywhere in the woods, anywhere in the country. Obviously, not people's like crash the backyard kind of thing. That's just common sense. But you can go out into a field and walk around, go into the woods, pick mushrooms and berries and whatever you want. No issue, because it's part of.
It's common law. Like
common
you
law.
can go everywhere. Like if somebody's got like a giant forest as part of their property, you have the right to go through those woods, and it's they're very outdoorsy people. I'm surprised, even when we're in winter. Like, you
dress for the weather. So if it's cold, you put on enough clothing so you're not cold.
There's still people everywhere. It's crazy.
I'd love to go to Sweden. I think that's like definitely on my hit list. So if I ever get over there, I'll be hitting you guys up for some hot tips and some places to go for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
We've got some questions in the chat. I'll touch on this one real quick. What is the last character you both dressed up as at Comic-Con or whatever expos are called over here?
We haven't actually.
we're normally so busy with appointments when we go to expos that we haven't actually spent the time to have because you have to commit a whole day to doing it. So if you say, for example, we got PAX Oz later this year, if you're cosplaying, your day starts at about 4 a.m. getting set up. You're there at the start. You've got about 4 hours of professional photos. Then you've got 3 hours of walking around in your equipment with
taking photos with other people and
wanting to take photos of you, and that it's a huge commitment. We are going to, and we're going to do Lincoln Zelda.
Yeah.
So it's either this year or next year. So I think we're going, when Breath of the Wild 2 gets announced, so it's coming out, whether that's this year or next year, we'll be doing a Breath of the Wild cosplay.
I'm excited.
That's awesome. I hope there's going to be like 1,000 pictures on Instagram. Can you speak any Swedish, Craig?
Nope.
So 10 years down the drain and he can't speak anything.
Yeah, but
doing well.
I have an issue with languages. I always have. That's to do with the neuro thing. So I can't learn other languages. I couldn't speak till I was like 8 years old. So me grasping even my own language has taken a lot. And I have to think about every word I say. It's tiring. So I don't think I'll ever learn Swedish.
That's okay. I speak both languages, so we're fine.
I can barely speak English, and I don't have any neuro problems. So you're doing a lot better than me, Craig. I can give you that. I want to get back to Tommy's question, but you touched on something there that I actually had forgotten that you'd spoken about before. So when you were younger, you did struggle quite a lot with learning and stuff. Hey.
Yeah.
It's easy to forget.
It was very hard. Not so much for me because I didn't know any difference, but for my mum, it was absolutely devastating. And I couldn't socialize with anyone. Like if I walked into another room, I would just stand there, and I'd forgotten why I was going into that room. Like my ability, and like because of that, I couldn't learn to read. Talking was hard, and socializing was really hard. I had like rocks thrown at me when I was a kid and everything, just because like I'd be playing with the kids in the street and all of a sudden I would stop and I would freeze and I'd be frightened and I have no idea where I was. And then there'd just be a group of kids over there. Like, I didn't know how I got there. Just the ability to turn the short term and retain that was really difficult. And that's why like that the video games as well played a big part, because they're so short and segmented back then, more so than they are now. I could actually finish a game through and that. So yeah, it's for me to be where I am now. I'm like very proud, and that's all to do with my mum. But everything I say, I have to think, and I when I get stressed out, I start to stutter and I can't formulate. So it is still, but I've worked really, really hard to get to the level I am, and it's taken a very long time. So. But nothing comes easy.
Now.
Yeah. Definitely congratulations on, putting in that work and to your mum as well. Like from the outside, you wouldn't be able to pick it up. Like unless you knew you personally and have chatted quite a lot. Like there's no way that you know that. So for you to be able to get through that on a daily basis is incredible, not only for yourself, but for your family to help you through that. So
and to have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, you got a YouTube channel pumping out like quality videos as well. So congratulations, man. That's really.
It is tiring, and by the end of the day, I am in a bit of pain. So I'm on pills for the rest of my life. But thank you so much. You are right. Like, and I am proud of my mum, and I'm proud of me, and I'm proud of Rebecca for helping me through. And you never know people's demons. Like, don't look at somebody and be like, oh, that person looks, and nothing's wrong with them, they're doing great. Like you don't know what trials and tribulations people will go through. So and that's the supportiveness of this community is fantastic, because nobody comes in with a narrow mind, and you guys have been very supportive of us, as is everybody who's been in this chat, as we want to be to everyone else. So thank you to everyone for embracing us.
No, I think you open your heart to people, and you kind of, they will respond in the same way. So the world's a tricky place to navigate sometimes. So I think the more you can open your heart to people, the better you're going to be off in the future. So
Don't throw rocks at people.
yeah, that's horrible. And
Are you kidding?
like I think we've all been through some form of like bullying in our life, and to have that level and then to be able to bounce back and come through that, it really shows the strength in a person. So yeah, I think that that's incredible that you are where you are now. So
yeah, that's admirable.
I don't really know how to like say what I'm
Express.
like thinking, but yeah,
man, I get you. We're good.
Yeah. Tommy's trying to lighten the mood here a little bit. So how the hell do the Aussies marry up so many levels? Can we get some marrying up knowledge? Hell with the reselling. Well, my biggest tip is to get them when they're still in high school and they haven't worked out.
Oh, that sounds bad.
That they're absolutely. Look, I was in high school as well. I just want to clarify that. But
just find your high school sweetheart, and then
yeah, there you
that's
go.
it.
That's my biggest tip.
He found a backpacker. I guess that works too.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything. I think it's a connection.
Yeah,
just for you.
It's like either find yourself a high school student or a backpacker. That's probably
yeah. But, this sounds like the start of a horror movie.
Yeah. It's like Wolf Creek style, but it's not meant to be that way. Kind of laughing knowledge bomb there from Brad. I would not take that as a knowledge bomb. That's probably like I'll put you in jail bomb. So Bronwyn from Australia dropped in. Thanks for dropping in, Bronwyn.
Good morning.
We're at 56 minutes and it feels like we've been on for 10 minutes. So I don't mind if we roll over a little bit if you guys are happy to, because we do have a couple of...
Yeah, it's all good.
What we're going to do is get drunk and watch Altered Carbon with some wine and cheese, so we've got nothing for that.
So I've watched Chris Thrift Beast and I love his rapid fire stuff. So we've kind of adapted our little bit of a take on it. So are you ready? We've got about 5 questions, rapid fire, as quick as you can.
I'm not ready.
Okay, got to answer real quick. Okay.
Favorite place to source?
Favorite place to source? Facebook Marketplace.
Oh.
Beck?
Oh.
From me. Done.
Yeah, pretty much.
There you go.
Favorite food when you're outsourcing?
There you go.
Oh, burgers.
Ooh, yes.
Burgers.
Rapid fire, baby. There you go, Chris. Good to see you, mate. Go-to game when you need a break.
Ooh,
anything PlayStation. Or anything gaming, really.
Open world game for Rebecca.
Oh, yeah, open world, yeah.
For me, anything 16-bit. I love playing through Sonic. Or Beavis and Butthead.
I think I know the answer to this one. Clothing or hard goods?
Hard goods.
Hard goods.
Yeah.
It's easier.
Summer or winter?
Ooh.
Winter,
yes.
Oh.
Like, for me.
Like, I know Craig used to do surfing, so that's more of a summer sport. I was like, Beck's from Sweden, so winter. I know you like snowboarding.
Favorite gluten-free ice cream?
I didn't even know there was such a thing.
Yeah, me either.
Okay. I'll bash in some questions.
Favorite music?
Rock. 80s.
Ooh.
Bam.
All right.
What's your favorite artist? Yeah. Like a music artist then.
Oh God, that's a hard one. Metallica, actually. No, fuck Metallica. Straight up. Come on, Beck. ABBA.
That's pop, but okay.
Yeah. No, for you. Favorite artist. Takeda.
When I was growing up, yeah, probably. Matchbox 20 I really like.
Oh, yeah, hello.
There you go.
Last ones. Oh, no.
Favorite Dalmatian from 101 Dalmatian. I don't even have
Spot? Yeah. Was that one of the names?
It was Spot. Good call.
I'm always hungry.
Boardies or budgie smugglers, Craig?
Boardies.
Boardies when I'm surfing, but I wear budgie smugglers when I'm swimming.
I would have thought like mankini is what I would have pictured.
Yeah, I've got these budgie smugglers that say "shocking" on the back in big white letters.
I'm definitely a boardies guy because I don't want to have like indecent exposure against me.
Yeah, you don't want your giblets hanging out.
That's something you don't want, really. If I thrift some serious smugglers, I'll send them your way.
Yeah, I will rock those.
Spot was a dog diggity. There you go.
Hells yeah.
So yeah, you knew more than I did. I think there's 100 more, but anyway.
Well, considering I saw them all in Swedish, I did okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even remember that movie.
Oh, here we go. Quick
Cruella
scope.
de Vil.
God.
Hybrid. So scout scope. So mix between two.
Why not?
I haven't played it.
I prefer the dead guy because that's always me. Yeah.
Me too.
Here we go. that's a quality question right there. P standing up or sitting down? I'm presuming Beck standing up, so we'll go with that.
Yeah, one leg up on the wall.
Do you know the funniest thing I've ever seen from you guys, and it was actually on Drew's channel, was when they unfortunately got trolled by that person. Your reaction to that troll, Craig, every time I see it, because I have a clip of it, which I've been sent by Look Mum. Every time I play it back for whatever reason, I see your reaction is just like on point. You just absolutely lose it.
It was funny though.
Somehow the best.
Unfortunate, but funny.
Yeah, we have no
filter.
Yeah, we have no filter. Like we said how we see it, and we don't have morals, but things don't like. I don't know how to say, but like if something happens and it's like that, I'm like, wow, that's interesting. I don't think of the consequence.
It's like laugh first, ask questions later.
Yeah,
Like,
it would be
push back down the stairs. I laugh first and then ask her how she is.
Because
Play the clip.
I don't have the clip on my computer, and
we would never.
I don't
play
really
it.
want to do that. Sarah says Craig's reaction was the best because you had like Drew and Sarah being like, "Oh man, this sucks,"
Why
and
does this
then
happen?
your reaction to it was just like the complete opposite. You're just like, "Oh my god, that's the best thing that's ever happened."
I felt bad after because like I said, I didn't think about the consequences of it.
Yeah,
I just
just
remember
loved
seeing
it.
this.
that was your
chocolate
natural
stuff
reaction
in the middle of
because
the
you see
screen
that
and
and like,
being
"Oh my god!" Like
What
you're
is
either
happening?
gonna laugh your head off or run away. Like that's the two options.
yeah.
Oh gosh.
Well, yeah, we're at the hour mark. So, last question. I did pre-warn you guys about this one because I think it's a bit tough. Tell us something that we don't know about you two. So, you can both have something that no one knows about just yet.
What did we forget to ask?
Yeah.
Basically, what didn't we know to ask?
Do you want me to go first, or
Yeah.
Okay. So I used to be a marine biologist scientist working at universities.
Wow.
That's what I studied in uni because I always wanted to save the sharks. I did that for years. I worked for universities for 3 years. I've done research. I've done most of the mapping for the Moreton Bay Marine Park, which is like the biggest marine park in our area. A lot of that is like my work. So I used to be a scientist, and people say like, well, why are you working at Backpackers now, or why are you a reseller? Politics.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cutthroat industry.
See, and I would never have known to ask you.
And Beck?
So growing up, I guess I was a gymnast and I did horse riding for about 10 years.
Wow.
10, 15 years? I don't even remember.
If we disappear, the computer stopped computing.
So you gym for quite a while, right?
Sabotaged.
It does seem that way.
Oh, GIS. Don't even get me started, Drew. It's a mapping software. It's horrible. Rob, shut up.
I will bring that up in a second.
Oh, God damn it.
I'm going to bring this up. You need a second to process. Yeah, that probably would have been my reaction too, Drew. I've been like, what
It's
just
natural.
happened?
It's real life.
Like,
It's real life.
I did see someone tag you in this. So there was a extremely likeness of you on a surf lifing show the other week.
Surf lifesaving.
Are you masquerading as a surf lifesaver these days? Is that what happened?
Not anymore, but I was. So for like another job, I was a lifeguard for the council, and I did surf lifesaving. And I have appeared on a number of episodes on a TV show years ago that I thought that would never see the light of day again, but apparently are reruns now on TV.
Are you kidding me?
What's this show called?
It's called Surf Patrol.
There we go.
That was actually Craig.
I was like, at the time, I was like, is it not? I was like, no, I don't know.
I thought that it was your doppelganger. I was like, how can that guy look so much like Craig?
Yeah,
I've
been on quite a few of those episodes with the cameras following me and that. Yeah, I hate it.
Really?
So.
Do you know the only time I've been on? There's been a couple occasions, but one of the times that I have been on TV was when I was little. We went to the local like swimming place. What do they call them? Like
swimming pool,
but like the ones that are indoors. And we went there with a football club, and we actually got ushered out because there was a bomb threat, and they were filming us on TV, and we were like, yeah, because we were like. They were reporting a bomb threat, and we were like jumping up in the background, like, "This is the best thing ever!" Yeah, so that was one of my my claims to fame. not as cool as being followed around by a film crew, but probably a bit of juxtaposition there, I'm sure.
Oh, juxtaposition!
There we go.
All right.
Blame Drew. I was in tears, and it made my day.
Yeah, we were out thrifting, like shooting that last video that we just put out. When we got tagged in that, and Beck was playing it in the seat next to me, and I heard the commentator, and I was like, "No, it's back!"
I think
it's cool.
I think you guys should put that together and make a video on it. That'd be awesome. the X life of Game on Couple. Well,
it's cool.
All right, guys. Well, we've smashed through the hour mark, so we won't keep you much longer for today. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys coming on, and it's been a long time coming. We really love what you guys have been doing, and your video quality is right up there. What are you guys using video quality? Are you using the same system that Drew's using?
We use Premiere Pro. I do all that. If you know somebody who's a student and they're nice to you, you can get it for free.
There you go.
Their student email. So if you have friends and you want to take it to the next level and know the next step, just hit up a family member, because anyone who's a university student gets a free student copy of Premiere Pro, Lightroom, all those things, and all you need is their email and password. So as long as there's somebody close to you, you can use that. I'm actually signed up to a university that I'm not enrolled in courses, so I get it for free. So I've done it very sneakily. Sorry, Adelaide University.
Oh, there you go. I might have to get onto that. Mad respect for lifeguards, Drew, saying absolutely tough job.
100%.
I couldn't imagine some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Be
some
very
pretty
hard.
bad experiences during that job.
Yeah.
It'd be tough.
We've also both worked at Wet n Wild, which is a water park.
Yeah, we've.
Oh my god! Yeah, how many lives have you?
Yeah, quite a few.
Here we go. Reseller and pro fraudster. Love you guys. Amazing. Love hearing about your life. Absolutely. So before we head off, I have dropped your description. Your description. I have dropped your link in the description. There we go. So if anyone hasn't subscribed to Game on Couple yet, head over there. I'm putting out not only great reselling content, but like I said, they're going to be bringing some how-to vids coming up. They also do a bit of gaming stuff. So it's an awesome little channel you got over there. Do you guys want to give yourself
it's not going to be little for long.
quick little plug and tell us what's upcoming?
Okay, so you can find us on Instagram as Game on Couple. You can find us on all socials generally as Game on Couple. Anyone that wants to add us on respective systems, PlayStation, Xbox, just send us a message. We're more than happy to add you. YouTube going forward, we're aiming for only sustainably is one video every second week because of how busy we are. Coming forward, next video we've got is what is completeness. So as a reseller, being able to determine the value of a game based off what it comes with. And then obviously we'll have like a little bit of variety content of how to build a collection. Some random lifestyle ones like looking through lost property to find hidden gems, things like that. So it'll be a little bit like variable, but you know, it's all, we don't care. We'll do anything. It's just about lifestyle. So reselling, collecting, gaming, and whatever we think is cool.
You feel free to give us suggestions of what you think we should do a video of.
If you have any questions or things that you want answered as well, like, and you would like us to do a video of it, send us a message. We're always happy. You know, obviously would credit anyone whose idea it was. So yeah, 100%.
He's a world of knowledge.
Yes.
Of almost everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
You both are, actually.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to what you bring out next, and definitely looking to enjoy the ride with you. So
thank you so much for hanging out with us today, and everyone who was in the chat and asking awesome questions and made it awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks everyone for coming. Quickly, tonight is the boys chat. There's boys chat over. It's actually going to be on our channel again tonight. Wide World of Reselling. Myself, maybe Drew. He's a little bit unwell, so I'm not sure. Obviously Rob, and we have a surprise guest tonight. So
yes,
come along, bring a beer, enjoy your Sunday night, bit of a wind down from the week.
Yeah, good to end the week that way.
Some dog shit moments from the week, and hopefully have a little bit of a chat and a little bit of a decompress. So
hopefully see you there. Unless you're in America, you're probably asleep.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
We'll end it here, and we'll see you next time on Aussie Thrifters.
See ya.
Bye.
Later days.